Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Constance Carter, and this is the Fly Nubian Money, where we help you to master your mindset and maximize your what, ladies?
Money.
That's right. So listen, everybody, today we're going to talk a little bit about child support. A judge says that the child support is not for the child. I know this is your first time hearing this for a lot of you. A judge breaks down the truth about child support. He is debunking the misconceptions, and we are going to explore the purpose of the payment and how the system really works and what parents need to know to protect themselves and their kids financially. So today, we have the most amazing women on the planet. We have the ones who are very qualified for this conversation. We're going to start off with Miss Wealth Coach herself, Dr. Aisha Verzi. Hi, Aisha. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for being here today. And then we have Miss SEW, Dr. Sabrina. What's happening, lady? You look so cute today.
Hey. I'm out here in this Houston sunshine. Sunshine.
You just jet setting all over the country, huh? When you just in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Jet Setter. All right. And then finally, last but not least, the brand Joe Brilliance coach herself. I have right here Miss Dr. LaNee Javette. Yay!
What's up? What's good? I'm happy.
What's up, ladies? You know what? I was gonna try. Listen, you need to have some sound effects up in here. Wait a minute.
Now I gave myself. I gave my own little sound effects.
Here we go. No, not that one. All right, no. None of them work. Well, on mine, I got applause, I got boos, I got everything. All right, ladies. So, okay. So I know that all of you guys are these virtuous women who have always been married, never been divorced, had children no, that's not the truth. That ain't true. No. Oh, okay. Well, some of us are single parents. So do you listen, life be lifing, right? So, Aisha, what is your thought? Because I know you have not had to experience this hardship of child support. What is your thought around child support? Is it for the child or is it for the parent?
For me, I think it's for both.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I just feel. It's for both.
Okay. All right. Bet. Okay. All right. What about you, Sabrina?
I'm in agreement. I think it's for both because you have to think about it. If a child is, let's say, a minor and the money is given to the minor, they may not even know what to do with it. Mm-hmm. So I think ultimately the parent is the person that's going to have to manage that.
Okay. All right. Dr. LaNee, for both or for the child or for the parent?
I think that it is at the discretion of the parent who receives the money. However, I don't think that it's for nails and hair and eating out. I think that it is for the welfare and the lifestyle of the child, not the mother.
Mm-hmm. So how do you really differentiate that, Dr. LaNee? Because if she's getting hair and nails done and the child is taken care of, then how can you decide what's paid for what? Like what pocket that comes out of?
I think that a lot of times when we're having this conversation, normally we're having it because some celebrity done got some woman pregnant and she's getting $40,000 a month. And we say, it don't take $40,000 to raise a child. We don't say anything when it's the parent who's getting $200 a month. because we know that it costs a lot more to raise a child than $200 a month or $1,500 a month. So whenever, a lot of times when we're having these conversations, we're talking about 20, 30, 40,000, which I think like that's crazy. But what will happen is the courts will say, well, this child should live to the same life that the father is accustomed to, which I agree with. But again, that's the child. Just because you lucked up and had a baby does not mean that your lifestyle elevates. Because
it does, but it does.
But the child is supposed to be the one that's living in the accustomed lifestyle.
How's the child gonna live there if he live with you?
Exactly.
Again, a nice house I get, a nice car I get, but the trips and all the other things, like I listen. Folks is
Live your best life, sis.
Listen, folks are using babies as a come up. I think in some places, I think it's bad. You have some women who are really out here struggling to take care of their kids.
Yeah.
You have other people out here that are using their kids as a bag.
Yeah.
That's where the child support game gets to be a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It's not even across the board.
Yeah, I understand. I'll say that I think it is at the discretion of the parent. Listen, I think people squabble over the stupidest things. If you give me $500 per month or $200 or $50, you cannot tell me what to do with that $50 or $500 if the child is being taken care of. You are not going to sit here and itemize the shit I got to do, because whatever you pay me, it is not nearly enough to what it costs me to raise these kids every day. Right. So you don't have nothing to say about what I do with this money. If I get my nails done, and your kids is eating, don't worry about the fuck what I do with this money. That's what I got to say. And if we're quibbling over that, you are not even qualified to be my baby daddy, in my opinion. If you quibbling over, $50 or $500.
Yes.
Yeah, right. But that's what people do. They be thinking they little $50 is paying whole mortgages and shit. And like, yo, this ain't even bought this Negro no draws this month. Like, you have no idea. This big ass boy is eating up everything. And that is a day's worth of groceries, right? But I think the problem is, it's like we quibble. They quibble over the smallest things. And I hate to see it, because it's majoring in the minors, and that's just dumb to me. But I want to start off, and I want to look at this video so that we can take a deep dive. What y'all think?
Let's go.
What you doing over there?
That's not what child support is for. And I know everybody thinks that child support is for the child, but child support is not for the child. Child support is for the benefit of the child. The child has to live somewhere, doesn't he?
She does.
That means that somebody's either paying a house note or paying rent or something, right?
Correct.
All right. The child has to have transportation, has to be moved from one place to another. That means there's a possibility somebody has to make a car payment.
Here, and I spoke to the last lady. She was like, well, the judge basically said it would be, good to put the child support. At that time, I said I wasn't interested in the child support, but they still did the temporary order. It's like, okay, it didn't really make a difference because he supports Azari. He gives me money for her meal, gives me money for diapers, gives me money for whatever Azari needs, he supplies. While I was on maternity leave, he did pay, he did assist on, paying my cell phone bill, and did, assist on, my rent while I was off on disability. So he has helped.
Okay, that's good.
Taken for him.
That's wonderful. Well, like I was saying earlier, I hope you can hear me. Child support is for the benefit of the child, not for the child. I know everybody thinks as long as I buy milk and that sort of thing, then I'm doing my part. You're not doing your part.
Wait, can you go to the beginning again?
I agree.
Wait, go to the beginning again. Because what did he say in the beginning, please?
That's not what child support is for. And I know everybody thinks that child support is for the child, but child support is not for the child. Child support is for the benefit of the child. The child has to live somewhere, doesn't he?
She does.
That means that somebody's either paying a house note or paying rent or something, right?
Correct.
All right. The child has to have transportation, has to be moved from one place to another. That means there's a possibility somebody has to make a car payment.
Here, and I spoke to the last lady. She was like, well, the judge basically said it would be, good to put the child support. At that time, I said I wasn't interested in the child support, but they still did the temporary order. It's like, okay, it didn't.
I know. You're busy, you got things to do, and you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
All right. So before we get to it, before we respond, I want you to think about that. But look, okay. So I just want to look at the comments because somebody said child support goes towards judge's retirement fund. Funny. Child support is for the parent 100%. Why not split custody? No need for child support. Second, why not have the child stay with the father? Dennis said it's hard. Men are supposed to forever subsidize women. That's what child support is. See, that's that broke ass thinking. Never want to hear shit about independent women ever again. They depend on the racist, funky ass government. Tell me you're broke without telling me you're broke. Anyway, let me see. That was another one. There shouldn't be no baby daddies. True Anonymous. You know, you speaking good today. Child support is a penalty to the father for a failed marriage or relationship. Sole custody is a penalty. You wouldn't have sole custody if you fought for your children. She wouldn't have sole custody if you fought for your children. She wouldn't have sole custody if you were living right. So I mean, there wouldn't be no sole custody if you was taking care of your business. Nobody cut the man off. My daughter's lifestyle far exceeds them child support payments. Heck, the dance school tuition costs more than school. That's what I'm saying. Your funky ass $50 a month ain't doing shit. Judges are basically biased because they benefit from it. Part of the funds from child support. Okay. Okay. And parents should want their children to be comfortable and not struggling. You would think, right? All right. So a lot of good, interesting comments in the chat. Aisha said, before I even could grasp what he was saying, you said you 100% agree. Why?
Because it said for the benefit of the child. It doesn't mean only the child or only the parent. Meaning whoever is taking care of, if it's a mom or the dad, they are responsible for that child, driving them to school, picking them up. So whatever benefits the child is why the money is given. From my understanding, it's not necessarily, oh, here you go get your hair done or go do whatever you want, go to vacation, but for the benefit of the child. If the child has a certain lifestyle, maintain it. If they're going to a specific school, make sure they go to that school. If they need to go to a ride somewhere, you take them. If they're in dance, you take them for the benefit of the child. Right. So I agree with so he was trying to clarify that when people hear it, they think you take the money for the child only, put in a bucket. No, it's for the benefit. Whatever the money is to benefit the child, that's what the money is given to you for. And to me, I agree with that.
All right. Dr. Sabrina, agree or disagree?
I agree. But it kind of sounds like we have two different scenarios going on here. So the one that you used, Constance, was in the case of like celebrities or people of affluence that have these huge child support judgments, and you have to wonder how much of that really is about the child and the child maintaining their lifestyle as opposed to the mother or others maintaining their lifestyle. Then you have situations where you have people that are barely getting, $200, $500 a month. I mean, what is that? Because it costs a whole lot more than $200, $500 a month to live. So it's interesting that our justice system doesn't say you pay half of the expense of the child. Since you went in on half on the baby, you pay half of the expense. Half of the expense may not be $200 a month. Half of the expense for the child may be $1,500 a month. By the time you add in that place for that child to lay their head, transportation for the child, food for the child to eat, clothes to go on their back, it's going to far exceed that little bit of money. So that's what's interesting to me. Like, where do they come up? How do they come up with these numbers? Like,
they calculate it based upon their income.
Well, it's based upon your income, but again, does the child's needs and what it costs to really rear that child?
Because my income might be a certain thing, but y'all ain't saying. I mean, he can still got to live, right?
Right, exactly. So, but my point is, Constance, even whatever my income is, my income could be less than your income, could be less than somebody else's. does that negate how much it really costs to rear that child? So if your income, let's say, is only $1,500 a month, but it costs $1,500 a month to rear your child, and the judge gives the mother a $250 judgment per month, who makes up the difference?
I love that.
Who makes up the
Get
difference?
your ass a job paying more. You can't afford it. Get your ass a job paying more. Yeah, man.
Exactly.
You're right.
That's why it's more ideal to have both parents at home, so you don't have to have these problems, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's not ideal. It's just not it's unfortunate that that's not how it actually is.
Yeah. Sometimes Negroes don't act right.
Yeah.
Ideally, you agree or disagree.
You would have two people who love each other, who are in a marriage, having a kid, right? Raising a family. But the reality is I'm not going to say the majority. Let's say a lot of folks 50%. Are having babies with people that they don't even know. They've known for less than a year or two. They don't even have, really have a good relationship with that individual. They go ahead, they have kids. And now the truth is the truth. Whoever said it, a lot of women use babies as pawns. Like that's just the truth. You gonna pay me, you hurt me, you don't get to see your kid, I'm taking you to court. That's the truth, right? And the only person who ends up hurt in these child support situations is the child, is the kid, because it's unfortunate. Not all women, let me say not all, but we see it, we know it. We somebody right now that has had a situation where and maybe you've talked like, yo, why don't you let him see his kid? Like, he paying child support, he doing all the things, you know what I'm saying? I have a client right now. This dude pays this lady's mortgage, his son's tuition, half of the grocery bills, all of his sports, without being told to do it. He got a girlfriend. She took him to court She took him to court and said, you have to pay me. Didn't show any of the previous receipts. And now the court is saying that he has to pay, it's like $1,000, something like that, less than what he was already doing. So she was getting more when he was just doling it out to her. To be petty, because he has a girlfriend now, she took him to court and she's getting $1,000 less.
Well, here's the thing. I don't feel sorry for men who say that I'm paying all this money, but she won't let me see my child. That's what the courts are for. Unfortunately, you have to go through the white man. You got to go through the system. You got to go through the courts. But if you go and you fight for them kids and they're like, you don't have you ain't been no domestic violence, you taking care of business, there's no reason why you should not. Yes. Somebody said, that's why men don't want to get married. Hell, I'm the one that was paying my ex-spousal support. I had all the children. I took care of everything. I bought them a house, paid off. I did all of that stuff as a woman. You guys act like marriage only benefits men. Marriage only benefits women. It actually benefits men more. And somebody talked about men paying child support. Women pay child support too. Mm-hmm. Don't get the shit twisted. It goes both ways. The issue is people don't want to take responsibility. But to the point, Dr. LaNee, I don't feel sorry for people who can't see their kids, because if they fought hard enough, they could. I think that's the reality. Sometimes the courts don't work in your favor, but for the most part, if you fight for them damn kids, you should be able to see them, especially if you're paying for them.
You should, but sometimes these courts, so when he went to court, so one of the things was he had a bad lawyer. He's fighting it right now because anyways, he had a bad lawyer. Sometimes these courts, they still side with the mom, even when the dad does the right thing. But you are right. I did not take my son's father to child support. We were just really, really cool like that. And when I started my business, I had sent my son to go stay with his dad. His dad wasn't doing good, but I didn't want my son's quality of life to change just because he was living with his dad. So I was sending his dad $300 a month and paying my son's. Yes. I was like, just because you have him, his quality of life shouldn't change.
He's still our son. You should want
he's still our son. Just because you don't mean his quality of life should be good. When I come to town, if I see something ain't right, I'm gonna take care of it.
That's adult, right? That's being an adult. That's being a parent. That's being an adult.
We're in this together.
Yeah, y'all quibbling over pennies, and the kids have to suffer, and that's the thing that I don't like. But let's take a look, Tiara, at the next video so that we can dig a little deeper.
Ladies, if you don't know now, you going to know, all right? Child support is only for the child. Child. Okay? Or children, if he had multiple by you. It is not for you. Okay? You must exclude you, go work, do whatever it is that you have to do, and provide your half as well to supporting your child. You can't count just on the man providing for his child. You also have to be a mom and provide for your child when you're no longer together. Okay, so if you're keep trying to ask for more money and you want this and that, and if you need to keep asking for money, why don't you get that man his child and let him raise his child? You at this point, you need to find a way, because you the one keep saying you need help. You want to raise whatever, you want to do whatever. At the end of the day, when a man is paying child support, is only for that child. That's his. Okay, so if you got other kids by other men, he is not supposed to support that, or you. That's why you get your ass out there, get a job, figure some shit out, or hit up the other fathers to support their other children. That's just how it is, but y'all don't understand.
Okay, so I think it's a very simplistic way of looking at things, but let's take this part, because this is the controversial piece of that. Sometimes moms be trying to spread the child support amongst all of their kids, and Dr. LaNee, what you think about that?
Say that. Say that when Johnny's dad come to pick him up, she'd be like, "How come you don't take Mark and Kevin with him?" Listen, this conversation is so crazy, but so real and so necessary. If you have 3 kids, and I give you money to take care of my child, and my child is suffering because you're trying to spread the money out between all the other 2 kids, I have a problem with that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how you're going to resolve it. And I don't know if there's a way, because I understand Johnny shouldn't be living a good life while Mark and Kevin is over here. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, but you got to figure that out with Mark and Kevin's dad.
Yeah.
Johnny's straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. But my baby not about to suffer for these other 2s who don't got it. Now, if I'm a good dude, if I'm a good dude, especially if I came first, I'm probably looking out for Mark and Kevin.
Okay.
Right? If Mark and Kevin are older and Johnny's the last one you got, just kind of maybe depends on what type of relationship I have with them. I might look out for them too. But if I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
So my brother has a baby mama. She has 4 kids, 4 baby daddies, and his kid is the oldest. And so she had another one, then another one. So she asked each one, "Hey, can you be this one's daddy?" He was like, "Yeah." Next one, "Can you be this one's daddy?" He's like, "Yeah." That 4th one, he was like, "No, I can't take on another one." But he did, and they weren't even together. And so all the kids that she had, he's basically daddy. Those are my nieces and my nephews, and they kids is my great nieces and my great nephews. And they're all ours. But some men will do it, and he takes care of them. Like the ones that ain't his actually are the ones that live with him. I think that's dope of him to do, but he's not obligated. He's not responsible. But what do you think, Dr. Sabrina? Do you think that, and how do you really determine what money goes where? Like with Marcus and Kevin, like how do you determine like that the money is being spread out?
So, I guess I go back to my previous comment. The reality is, if you're getting child support, 9 times out of 10,
shut your ass up, Anonymous. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You're not even getting enough money to cover the true expenses of the child. So even before we had that conversation of what piece is going to Mark, Kevin, Peter, or Paul, you're not even getting enough from the one baby daddy to cover the one child. I can see how you might have
it's complicated.
I mean, it is. It really is, because the reality is, and I'm not trying to make light of it, but it is what it is. It is very expensive to rear children, especially if you have children that are active and involved in extracurricular activities. That costs a lot. So if you have this judgment that says daddy pays $500 a month, or mama, because as we've said, moms and dads pay child support. The parent pays child support in the amount of $500 a month, and it costs $500 just to sign up little Johnny on the travel baseball team. Hey,
that part. I be asking my baby daddy, can you buy the Negro some drawers? Like, can you buy him some socks?
So I think what women should understand and men should understand, when you go to the negotiation table with the judge, instead of worrying about child support, say, let's go half on the baby. However much it costs to rear this baby, I pay my half, you pay your half, and just be done with it. And we wouldn't have to worry about that child support and who is going to benefit.
So what's the formula? What's the real formula? I guess you would have to say, okay, this is the household expenses. This is how much mortgage is, how much utilities are, it's how much they eat. And then you take that and you divide it based upon that. I think that would probably be the best way, because now it's based upon income. Your gross monthly income. This is how much you make. It's how much you got to pay according to your children and all that stuff. There's that formula. But I think you're right. This is how much it costs for them to live.
And Constance, we may, if we modeled that, if that happened for just a little while, let's say it happened 6 months to a year, we won't have shows like we had yesterday when somebody's talking about, I got 3 babies now, I don't know what to do. Right. After that first one, and you had to come to the table with your half, and your baby daddy didn't come to the table with his half, I don't know that you would have been so free to have 2, 3 more.
That's true. You ain't lying. Aisha, what do you think? Do you think that the child support should be split if with other children that are not theirs?
I think it depends, right? But if the person can afford to help out, yes, if they can. But if they can't, it will definitely go to the benefit of their child, right? It's just common sense. But requiring him to pay for the other children that he thinks is not his, I don't think you can enforce that. But if he's able to support them and he wants to freely, I think he should. That, to me, I think that would be the right way, because children really, it's, I don't know. I feel sad, this conversation, because it shouldn't even be, but we're having it. That kids are like pawns now, and these are the future generation. And how do we even think about having a legacy in future if they are feeling this way already? All of them, and they can sense it. Kids are very intuitive. They can sense if a woman has 3 kids from different fathers, and one is treated better because the father is providing, and the other ones don't get anything. It's hard, but she has to make that decision as well to help, so the kids don't feel that separation, because they're still siblings, right? To me, it's sad, but the best is, if he wants to support the other kids, he should, but he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, because he only has one of the child, right? So
he got one child. He got Tajon. Tajon get McDonald's. Don't nobody else get McDonald's. Is that okay?
No, I think if he can help the other ones,
what y'all think? What about you, Sabrina and Dr. LaNee? He bring Tajon McDonald's.
Listen, if you bring it, you should bring it for all 3. If you don't want to bring it for all 3, you pick your baby up, take him to McDonald's, and bring him back home
by yourself.
Okay, let's ask the chat. Tajon, your baby, and you want to bring Tajon, but he got little Markel and he got Jaquan, and you only bring in McDonald's for Tajon. Is that cool? Is that okay? I just want to just poll the audience. Is it okay to only bring McDonald's for Tajon and let them other little kids watch Tajon as he eating them French fries? That's what I want to know.
So how would it be any different if those were, let's say, his friends from down the street, and they were over, and he said, Dad, my friends are over, bring them McDonald's.
It's the same. That's what I said. You shouldn't feed one kid and not feed all the kids.
That's right.
If you don't want to do that, then pick your kid up, go to McDonald's, feed them, chit chat, chop it up, and then bring them back and drop them off.
So is it wrong if the mama says, Tajon can't have this McDonald's? If they can't have it, is it wrong for her then to deny Tajon that McDonald's?
That's a whole nother question.
Yeah, listen, that's a real question.
Is it wrong? A real question.
Isn't that his time when he comes to see his child? That's the time with his child, right? So she will stop him from taking the child because of that?
No, not stop him from taking child. He brings Tajon McDonald's, and Tajon got 2 brothers there that's hungry too. Should she say, no, Tajon can't eat? If you can't feed all my babies, you can't feed Tajon.
I don't know. I want to say no, but if the man ain't got the money to feed all 3,
right?
But he wants to take care of
his if she divides that food up between all 3, is she wrong?
That's okay. Yep, that's okay.
if I buy food, if I don't have a lot of money, but I want to make sure that my kid has a little something special today, and I buy my kid a little something special today, but I don't have the money to do it for all the other kids. The question then becomes, should my child suffer because of the other two kids? I have it to give to my child. I don't have it to provide for these other two kids that are not mine, who have their own kids, who have their own daddies, who have their own parents. Mm-hmm. Should my kid then suffer because these other two kids' daddy don't have it, but I have just enough to give to my kid?
No, it's hard.
Ain't nobody getting shit. If Marquez and Daquan can't get it, Tayshaun ain't getting it.
Anonymous said he can't spell these names, Constance. Stop coming up with these names he can't spell them.
We'll talk more about
it. What is it, Tayshaun?
It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
If you get child support and you're spending it on your child, you are doing it wrong. Child support is not for the child. It is for the parent. Child support equals parent support because without me, the child wouldn't exist. So technically, I'm the one who deserves the benefits. And let's be real, the child wouldn't even know the difference. Whether it's paying for their needs or paying for my spa day, they're still gonna get up, eat, and go about their little kid business. My children don't need new clothes. They simply wear hand-me-downs. So I'm the one who buys myself new outfits. If I'm exhausted, I'll be a bad parent. And you know what's the solution for all of that? Using the child support for a massage, facial, and a weekend getaway. It's for myself, but it's really for the kids. I carried those kids for 9 months. This is my lifelong refund. Think of child support as a reimbursement plan for the pain and suffering of pregnancy. Kids don't even appreciate nice things. So why am I going to waste child support on them when I could just buy things for myself that I know I will appreciate and not break within 2 seconds of me getting it?
People just be saying dumb shit on the internet
online because they don't work for me. But this bitch is crazy,
right? People, but
I only use it when it's appropriate. That right there is some bullshit. Like, she has to be pandering. I don't even believe her. I think she said, you know what? Let me see how I can go viral. Let me say the dumbest shit possible, and then see if I can get some views, because she makes every woman look bad, sound bad. Like, that's. I'm glad she wasn't black. That's all.
I was thinking the same thing. Okay. So we know what you said and did it with attitude. Okay, Dr. Sabrina, Aisha, is there anything on there that just pick one thing on there that she said that might have been true? Aisha, just out of every wrong thing she said, what's one thing she said that might have been true?
That she was a parent and she carried a child.
Get out of here, Aisha.
You said the basics.
All right, Dr. Sabrina, give you one thing. Did she say anything that was true? Not one thing?
I don't know. I mean, I'm amazed, you guys, when I hear some of the stuff that comes out of these people's mouths on social media. And I have to believe it is just to see what type of response. I can't even believe she believes that. I cannot.
Asia said, I can't pour from an empty cup. Sis said, I got to worry about me first. What? Oh my God.
But then she kept referring to it as the mother. But again, we're making the point here that it could be the other way around too. A woman could be paying a man child support to a man. So is that a man supposed to do that? You know, hey, I gotta make sure my haircut, have my haircut, have my shave, have my, my whatever, and forget the child. I don't know.
People just, I think I'm with Dr. LaNee. People, she just saying dumb shit because there's nothing logical about what this lady said. I want to go back to Anonymous, because Anonymous said, "What kind of name is Jaquan? Name him something like Robert." Anonymous, what is your name? Okay, you on here talking about other people's name. What, you out here anonymous? Anonymous ain't no real name.
Listen, Anonymous came in on Tuesday when we first got back. And he asked where we were at. He said he missed us and all the things. And we told him, we talked about him, because Anonymous, for all we know, could have been at the All Black National Convention and we wouldn't have even known who he was, what he looked like. Right. He came up to us and shook our hand. We wouldn't know, because we don't really know what your name is, what you look like. We don't know nothing about you. Anonymous.
Because he's anonymous. And by the way, all four of us were there at the All Black National Convention and we had a great time. Dr. LaNee, shout out, congratulations to you for winning that award. Miss Black Hollywood. I wish I was there to support you, but your girl was spent. I was like, I'm going to eat and then I'll be right back. And I went up to the room and I went to sleep. But it was a great overall. You guys got to come to Brooklyn, October 2026. You guys got to be in Brooklyn. It is the place to be. You do not want to miss it. All right. He said, I have a normal name. My daddy gave me a normal name. And it is what? It must be Robert. Is it Robert? It was raining last week. Okay. And he's in Atlanta too, by the way. So listen, how do we relay this information to these young kids? What do we tell them before they lay? What should they be doing, Dr. Sabrina? What's the best form to prevent this type of conversation? Because here's the thing. You can say, get married, don't get divorced. But the reality is, I mean, life, right? So what's the best?
And a lot of these people that are finding themselves in situations where they may need the child support are not necessarily people that have been married. Mm-hmm. So to your point, I think this conversation really needs to be had. It needs to be pushed throughout every medium that we can get. I saw somebody on there that wrote, we don't know what we're talking about. That's why we don't get views. Where the reality is, this conversation, even though we are having some, light moments, it's a conversation that really does need to be had, especially among our young Black women, because you find yourself struggling. Like we had a whole show yesterday with a young mother, 23 years old, that has 3 kids. There are just some things you need to consider before you even have the first one. And if you have the first one, definitely before you have 2 or 3 more children, and by multiple men that's moving differently. Because then you have to have a conversation about, well, what if Jaquan's daddy is taking him to McDonald's and little, Bubbo's daddy is not taking them? You got to have that type of conversation. Well, I had to come up with something, but I'm just saying, it would prevent conversations like this from even being necessary. But Candace, I do think that we need to have a deeper conversation with our young Black women and Dr. Williams has boys. So, and our young Black men, because this is what happens when we don't have these kind of conversations.
Really?
Can I say this?
Absolutely.
Say this. I have this conversation all the time with men about women shouldn't have babies if they know that a man doesn't want to have a baby. And I'm not in disagreement. But what I will say is, if you don't want to have a baby with this woman, don't let this woman get pregnant by you.
Amen.
Right? It's both people's part. It's both parties' responsibility. Yes, it is a woman. If she gets pregnant, she does have the say so. It's her body. Yes, she does get to make a choice. And I do not like that women be keeping nigga babies apart. But I say it that way exactly because there are not all, but there are some women who have babies to control a man. Not all, but it happens. We're not going to pretend like it doesn't. But a woman can't control you if you protect yourself and don't get her pregnant.
That part. And that's very simple. That's simple. Because y'all always blaming up women. Oh, she trying to trap me. She can't trap you if you strapped up, dude. Like she can't. Like it takes two. I believe, honestly, I believe men have control because they're the ones that control whether they.
Well, yeah, you give the woman the option. If you already know you don't want to have kids, if you already know that, not even that you don't want to have kids, I don't want to have kids with her.
Right.
If you already know that, or even if you're just having sex for fun, like I'm just out having a good time tonight. If you already know that, don't even give her an inkling of power to put you in a situation that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say something because I often hear things put on women. And fine, I'm going to take my responsibility as a woman. A woman should keep her legs closed. A woman should do this. A woman should do that. What about the respectable men? Why are we not elevating this conversation to the men and the responsibility that they have as well? As I said yesterday, a woman can only carry one pregnancy at a time. You can only be pregnant for 9 months at one time. A man could have multiple women pregnant during that same 9-month period. So I think there's enough responsibility to be shared by all, not just women keep your legs closed. Men, keep your legs closed too.
100%. But see, it's always on us because we're the ones having to take care of the baby. We're the ones that are responsible for taking care of the baby. So ultimately, unfortunately, it takes two to tango, but the responsibility always most likely falls upon the woman. Peter said, women, make a personal financial deal with the father and keep your breakup out of the system. That way the child gets the real support needed. The justice system has been bamboozling you and capitalizing on both parents long enough. They can't do anything unless you file. Stop filing, and men, make the deal with her and stick to it. That's how you cut out the middleman. Even if you're not together, you can beat the system together. Beat the system. I 100% agree. If there's a way that you can keep the government, the white man out your business, do it. Let me tell you, I went through a tumultuous divorce. I lost a lot of money, and working hard and building and doing all these things and having somebody else to tell you what you got to do with the things that you worked hard for is one of the hardest pills to swallow. It's something that you don't want. So if you can work, and then we ended up losing more, both of us, by going through the system that I did not want to go through in the first place. Mm-hmm. So if you can try to keep the man out your business, I mean, it would be great if people could just be responsible. Unfortunately, we got to have the goddamn system in order to make people do what they're supposed to do. And that's the unfortunate part of all of this. We'll come back. Aisha, I want to ask you a question when we come back from the break.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
So listen, Aisha, do you think that it's necessary for us to have a system that enforces child support?
Yes, I do. Especially if people have not been accountable, if they don't want to support the mother or the father, either way, right? We have to have a system that will make sure that if somebody doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do, that they go to a place to get support to get that accomplished. Unfortunately, we're in a country or community or society where you need these things to help you. Where I was raised, the family is the one that will come up and tell you what to do, not the government. So it makes it a little different. Where now the government has to give you a piece of paper that you have to do this and do that. While divorce happen everywhere. It's not only here, but it's so different here, where it's very systematized. Where this is how it goes, and then it causes a little rift among people. Then at the end of the day, who suffers is the child that suffers, and then it continue to repeat itself over and over again. That's what we're seeing right now. So if the family is involved, the family should be the one to kind of support them. If there's a breakup in the family, there's something that was put in place already before the guy married a woman, because there's a dowry. So that money is for the wife and the children. That's why it's so important that families are part of this decision-making process. But unfortunately, people do things backwards, right? They stay together, do things, and then babies are born, and then they don't want to be together anymore. Now you have to pay child support. It's unfortunate for me. This whole conversation makes me sad, because I feel that we have to just do better. We have to vet better. We have to bring our families in that decision-making process so that we don't have to do this over and over again, and then do it multiple times, right? And it just sends a message that that we're people that are not thinking properly. We just do things just because how we feel, and that's not that. I don't like that. I think we can do better than that, right? And we should just start talking about that. Say, no, if you're young and this person, you like this person, bring them to the family. Let's all of us get to know who they are. It should be a family affair, so that way if something happens, we can support you. Not where now we have multiples and we're fighting and who is doing what, who's not doing what. It's very sad to me.
You know, I don't care what no other culture or community or race does, but I wish that we were a village again. I wish Black people were more like a village like that, to where it does take a village to raise a child. Like we do have our elders, and we could seek the counsel of our family members to, you know, make those positive decisions. That would be so ideal, but we have been so westernized, and our households have been so broken. And you know, when you have welfare and you have incarceration and you have the prison, you know, the mass prison, the industrial complex prison system, all of the things that have really plagued our communities, it really fucked us up royally. I wish and I pray, and I'm still hopeful that we can go back to getting our families and our communities together, and we could be more communal, because that would be ideal. I wish that was for us, but we've been wrecked by this Eurocentric capitalistic society, unfortunately. But maybe one day. There's one last video that we have, and then we'll look at that, and let's break that on down as well, guys.
So is child support for the child? Hear me out, because I'm going to answer this question with a no. Because for the child typically means that what we're doing is we're pocket watching the custodial parent and trying to dictate how and when those funds are allocated and for what purpose. So the payee of the child support wants some modicum of control or influence into how the custodial parent actually runs their household. And I'm totally against this, because what that essentially does is make the custodial parent the employee of the non-custodial parent. This can be especially detrimental in situations where the non-custodial parent is only paying child support and is not even invested in co-parenting. So no, you are not paying for the child. In all practicality, what you're actually doing is reimbursing the custodial parent for expenses that they've already earmarked from their earnings. So all month I've been paying for food, I've been paying for toys, extracurricular activities, all the bills that go along with keeping up the household, electricity, water, gas, all of those things I've been paying for, diapers. That's been coming cash out of pocket, money that I could be spending on myself, I'm spending on our child. And now at a designated point in the month, I get $200, $250 back from child support when I've spent $2,000+ throughout the entire month. No, at that point, that $250 goes where it needs to go, or God forbid, where I want it to go, because I deserve to have a life too, just like you do as the non-custodial parent, who, all things being equal, has a lot more free time and more than likely disposable income. Again, all things being equal. And again, does that mean that the child support system is perfect? Oh, far be it. Far be it. But if it's come to a point, again, where the mismanagement of funds is so great, where the child is not being taken care of, there's abuse, there's neglect, or you do want more, say so, then you need to file for some form of custody. Because child support is not automatic. And if we could have worked things out together, outside of the child support system, we would have done that already. But here again goes back to how we can amicably end a relationship, because if you spent the entire
Man, I mean, once you get the government involved, can you really be amicable? Is it ever really amicable once you get the white man involved, Dr. LaNee?
I think it can. I think the intentions with which you get the government involved determines whether or not it can be amicable. For example, if you cannot agree on it yourself and you get the government involved, you both agree that this is what makes sense, you walk away, everything is cool, just for the sake of, then that could be amicable. I think it's not amicable when it's forced, when it's done out of pettiness, when it's done to hurt somebody. We can't be cool if you're trying to hurt me. Yeah. But if we can't come up to something on our own, we go to the courts so that it can be worked out. We both agree that this is good. Let's just have it done that way so we don't have to go back and forth. I think that can be amicable. You have some people who do go through the courts. They're amicable. The father or the mother does above and beyond. So they do that for the sake of, let's just get it out the way so that we don't have to. If you don't want to, if it's a place of tension or stress between the two people, and this way gets it done so that we don't have to have that stand between us, that's amicable. Now let me do a little bit more here and there when I feel like it, when I want to, when I take the kid. We've already worked that out. So I think it can be amicable. I always say you can determine how people are going to get along and how parents are going to parent based on how the relationship ended. If two people in the relationship both knowing that this was not a good situation, you do you, I do me, we can be cool. Then we can be amicable. There's no love lost. Nobody felt like they missed out on anything. But it lets somebody walk away feeling like they got jilted. They missed out on something. This was their plan A. They didn't have a plan B. You about to pay. I'm a woman. I'm a living witness. Yeah. If the relationship doesn't end amicably, whatever parent or person who walked away, that other person is going to make you pay, whether that's using your kids or financially. They feel like you have to suffer. And that is the sad part about relationships and parenting and child support, is because it is used oftentimes as a tool of deception, of hurt, of pain, of power.
I can 100% agree and attest to what you're saying, but I'll say this. So when I separated, just from my personal experience, when I separated from my ex, we were amicable. So we were separated 8 months. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. When people would come over, I would be like, hey, somebody come over so we can act like we together. So my mom and them would come over, whatever. He would come over and we would act like we was together. And then somebody saw him coming from somebody's house, and then they were like, what are you doing? And then he was like, we ain't together, right? So he got nervous, and I was like, whatever. So then they told the rest of the family. That's how they found out. So we were still amicable. I told my attorney, hey, we're amicable. Everything is good. We're going to split everything 50-50, blah, blah, blah. We get into court and it's a whole different fight. It's like, it turns different. And my attorney turned to me and was like, I thought you said this was amicable. I was like, I thought it was. So I could say, like, for me, we had the intentions, but as soon as a third party got involved, it was two third parties. It was a girlfriend and it was a lawyer. And when that girlfriend came in and when that lawyer came in and they start Googling my ass on the internet, they was like, she's rich. And she's like Dr. Dre. She has billions hidden. It was crazy. And so that's how they came after my ass. And then it was just like, it was that. Unfortunately, I still to this day, I would love to have, because we have children, but it just didn't turn out that way for me, unfortunately. But I want to look at these stats, because it says 1 in 4 custodial parents don't receive the full child support owed. What y'all think about that? Yeah, y'all agree? A lot of people that don't receive the full child support that's owed to them. Non-custodial parents collectively owe over $100 billion. It's a lot of people who ain't got no passports. It's a lot of people who can't get no licenses. It's a lot of people out there that is suffering because they don't want to pay for their children. That's unfortunate. Only 65% of children who should receive child support actually get the full amount. I could believe that. People die with child support on their credit. And that's the unfortunate thing too. I mean, it's something that if it's not taken care of, it could ruin your whole entire life. But if you just take care of your business, it could help. It could be beneficial for everybody, right? So let's end with our final thoughts. I'm gonna start with you, Dr. Sabrina. Let me ask you this. If child support isn't truly serving the child, what does that reveal about maybe the system, or, what does real accountability look like for all people involved?
Okay. I think the system is what the system is. Bottom line is, I go back to a comment that was made earlier. I think we need to just keep third parties out of our business if at all possible. The reality is, if you were amicable enough to create a child, then at some point, relationships may go south, but the children are what really, really matter and should take center stage in the end. I found the comments in the last video very interesting, and I cannot say that I don't agree with the gentleman. But the one thing that stood out to me was co-parenting. At the end of the day, you can pay all the child support or not pay all the child support if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to pay. But are you co-parenting? Are you giving those children what they deserve? They didn't ask to come here. They don't ask to, to be in this world at all. We make decisions with our actions to bring these children into the world. And that means we have a responsibility to take care of them, whether we get along with the parent, the father or the mother or not. We still owe that to the kids. That being said, and the other thing, Constance, I want to say is,
the second time you said that today, sis.
Oh no, you so sweet. I'm thinking Candy Girl. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I'll take it.
So yeah, maybe we should have had that money locked away in a trust somewhere, but that's a whole nother conversation right there.
Also do things different.
Googling.
I would do things different, I tell you.
Yeah. So that being said, I am Dr. Sabrina Edmond Williams, educator, author, and investor, opening minds and closing contracts. I am so noted. I am so excited and delighted to be here on the Fly Nubian Money podcast. I would be equally excited to work with you as your life and legacy planning strategist. If you need my help, please find me at I am so noted. I am so noted. It's been good.
Thank you. Miss Aisha, I want to ask you the same thing. What do you think? So what does that reveal about the system? What does real accountability look like if child support really isn't serving the child?
Yeah, what you just said is accountability, right? Accountability, and how do we make sure that accountability follows through? And to me, I really believe it starts from the beginning. With our families being a part of it. When we make a decision such like this, hopefully our families are a part of that decision-making process for us. So when we have a child, if something goes wrong, that our family will come around us and support us. So accountability comes to me in mindset. And going back to thinking that children are a blessing. They're a blessing from God, and they shouldn't be treated as pawns, right? It's going to be hard to raise a child, no matter who has the child, whether it's the father or the mother that is the sole custodian of that child. It's going to require money, time, effort, emotions, all of it. So I think whatever is required to benefit the child to grow well should be what we always focus on, no matter what. Because at the end of the day, their inheritance and they're the future. And if they see us doing things where it's not beneficial to them, it carries to the next generation. That's not what we want. And I say this because I'm in the financial industry, and it's important to think about legacy building, and children are the number one way and how we start and think about that, and we protect and preserve that. So we'll do the best we can and being accountable when we have a child. And if you want to do something like that and make sure that you're doing the right things, you can find me as a coach on the Black Business School or at www.aishaverzi.com. Let's talk. Can help you.
Amen. 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 All right. What about you, Dr. LaNee? If child support is not truly serving the child, what does that say about the system, and what would real accountability look like?
So the system is broken. I think we can all agree. The system is broken. Child support is broken. The Black family is broken. I think that what that says is we have to get back to a place of village mentality.
Well, actually, even before that, before we even get to the village, we have to get back to a place of just responsibility. As women, responsibility for ourselves and our body and our life and how we want to live, and if we want to be a single mother. As men, is this the woman that I want to have a kid with? Is this a woman that I know well enough to shoot up the club? That's the first part, right? But then should something happen, being responsible and saying, okay, even if I don't want to be with you, man or woman, I want to support you and this child. Let's figure out how we can be amicable. Let's be upfront. Let's be trustworthy. Let's be honest. And let's figure out how we're going to do this. I think we have to take the emotion out of it and put the child first, right? And that's where the village comes in. How do we come together? How do we support each other? How do we show up so that we can have healthy relationships for the sake of this child that we both put in on and have to raise and have to see for the next 18 years, whether we like each other, we don't like each other. And 18 years being the least, because you want grandkids, because you got to be in the same room. So I think it comes back to that, like really just trying to figure out how to heal. We're so broken. There's so much pain and trauma tied to this thing. And whenever we bring the courts in or somebody else, and it just makes it more difficult. So really just keeping conversation open, understanding, love your child enough to love the parent, to be cordial with that parent, to be respectful to that parent. And I know that's difficult and hard, especially when somebody's coming at you, hurting you, throwing you in jail behind because of child support. Like is this child support thing is deep. It widens the gap between us. And so I'm gonna stop there because I'm really passionate about this topic and this subject. I work with a lot of men and I hear the stories that Black men are going through and dealing with behind child support. And it breaks my heart to know that there's some really good dudes, some really good brothers out there that are paying and doing what they're supposed to do, showing up, taking the kids, being dragged through the mud. So I'm Dr. LaNee Javette. I help service-based Black entrepreneurs who package and sell their expertise to brand their brilliance and monetize their brilliance. You can find me at I am Dr. LaNee Javette.
Good stuff. Listen, I just want to say this. Money is important. It really is. It is important because you got to have money. Money makes the world go round. It is extremely important. But more important than money, y'all, is being there, is support, is encouragement, is love, is guidance. You know, you want to give the money, but you don't want to give nothing else. It's all null and void. So everybody need to eat, but a child needs more than money. So if you could do all the things, be able to really parent your child. I heard my daughter talking to her dad the other day, and this is exactly what she was saying. It's not just the money, daddy. It's all the other things. We want to feel loved and supported and guided and nurtured. We want you to make us a priority. And so that's the thing I think that people really need to understand, that more than the money, parenting is way, way more than that. So at the end of the day, you guys, listen, child support isn't always what it seems. Knowing your rights, understanding the law, and making smart financial moves are key to protecting yourself and your kids. Today, we got really, 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 really real so you can get ahead and take control of your family's financial future. We are going to be here tomorrow, the same bad time, the same bad channel. And listen, at the end of the day, for everybody, it's all about building wealth, creating legacies for our children. And if you can't get along, you got to think about the kids first. I think most of us, especially who have children, are doing this for our children. And if you think about them, and if you love them more than you hate the person that you laid with, you would think clearly about putting them first and making sure that they're taken care of. That's what we really need in our community. Fuck what everybody else doing. That's what we need to do for ourselves. Where can you find me? Everywhere at I am Constance Carter. And oh, by the way, Net 7 Nation is getting ready to launch on September 2nd. That's chapters all over the country. And then we also have Net 7 Collective, which our first meeting is going to be on September 3rd. And I'm really excited about that. That's where I coach you, Black women from all over the country. Go to ConstanceCarter.com and learn more. ConstanceCarter.com and learn more about everything that I'm doing, on how we can help you let's close wealth gap and to create these legacies for our children. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Wait, we have one more thing. Oh, there it is. Booyah.
Oh, what?
Yes. Love Hangover.
What is this?
08/28 at 8:28 p.m. PST.
Tonight?
Yes, comes out today.
Y'all, Miss Black Hollywood is releasing her album tonight. Go to karmaj.com. Love Hangover. Oh my God, I've been waiting for months. I heard one of the songs the other day. It was banging. You guys go to karmaj.com. Are we having a live listening party online?
She said yes.
We having a live listening party online. What we having it at?
Where is it at and what time is it at? I guess it's at 8:28 because it's on
8:28. So is it going to be on karmaj.com or is it going to be? It's going to be on Fly Nubian.
She said she don't know. So I
it's
guess we'll
be
just
on
find
here.
out.
It's not tonight. What? Okay. So yes, it'll be released tonight at 8:28, you guys. So make sure that you guys go and buy the album. And we need to have it go live tonight so that we can do, but whatever.
Where can they get the album at? So it's released tonight. Where?
I want to, is it going to be on Spotify? Is it going to be on Apple Music? Where's it going to be, Karma J?
Karma J.
Okay, so go to karmaj.com and pick up the album. You guys support your girl. Really, like this is not like, oh, this is cute. No. I mean, it's some bangers on there for real. It's some bangers that you can really do in the club. You can listen to while you working out. You can listen to while you washing dishes, while you're driving in the car. Her shit is dope. So please go to karmaj.com and download her album. And we want to get her a Grammy this year as well. So make sure we can get as many streams as humanly possible. All right. Anonymous said he thought that was Megan Thee Stallion. She's sexy, right? All right, y'all. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.